Hello everyone, in this video we're going to do Bahrain Grand Prix predictions in a tier list style. We have 4 categories. Avengers for the top 3 finishers in the race, Power Rangers for the rest of the point scorers, Almost Famous for the ones who are close to points but not there yet, and Need for Speed for the bottom 5. So let's begin and we will go according to the teams. Okay, let's bring in Williams, George Russell and Nicholas Latifi. George did not get a lot of laps in the preseason testing, but I'm confident he's going to improve this year. It's frustrating for George to drive a Williams for a 3rd straight year, but expecting Williams to have a significant improvement this year, and he could be in a position to score the team's first points since Germany 2019. Although he scored points for Mercedes last year, scoring even a single point for Williams will be a far greater achievement. He may not score in the Bahrain Grand Prix, but he could be there anywhere between 11th to 15th, so George is going to the Almost Famous category. While Latifi needs a lot of improvement in his qualifying pace, Latifi did not have any impressive performances in 2020. Let's see if he can step up along with the car's performance this year. For the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, he is in Need for Speed. And by the way, these predictions are based on an assumption that all 20 cars finish the race without any mechanical failures or on-track incidents, but the reality could be far different from this. So let's look at Alfa Tauri next, Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. DRS or not, Tsunoda is quick. He took some time to get his feet in during the 2020 F2 season, but once he settled in, he was outstanding for the rest of the season. He has been one of the fastest runners in the preseason testing in Bahrain. But again, if all cars are running on the track during the race, he will have a hard fight to get into the points position. So for the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, Tsunoda will be close but not there yet, so let's place him in Almost Famous. Pierre Gasly has shown a true fighter spirit over the past 2 years to come back from rock bottom and to stabilize his Formula 1 career. I really hope he can get into a much more competitive car. He could be in the top 10 in Bahrain as Alfa Tauri looks like a strong car, so Gasly is a Power Ranger at Bahrain. Also guys, if you have any suggestions for the category themes, do let me know and I will consider them for the next Grand Prix. Alright then, let's move on and bring in our next team, Alfa Romeo. The Ferrari engine improvement will definitely be a boost for Alfa, but they will need a significant overall improvement if they want to trouble the points table regularly. The season opener at Bahrain might be tough for Giovanazzi because the midfield is ever so tight, so let's put him in Need for Speed. Kimi will be in his 19th season in Formula 1. What an achievement from the Iceman. 2020 was his worst ever year in Formula 1 with just 4 points. With a much better power unit behind the Alfa, he could battle the other midfield drivers regularly. For Bahrain though, he could be in Need for Speed, but let's see how it turns out because I'm sure not all 20 cars are going to finish the race. Let's look at the Haas rookies next. Both Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher did decent runs in the preseason testing. In fact, the team was really satisfied with the rookies' performance on track and how quickly they were able to adapt to a Formula 1 car. But unfortunately, both of them will find it difficult to make it past the bottom 5, and this probably might be the trend throughout the 2021 Formula 1 season, as the team already announced there won't be much development on the car this year, so both the rookies will be in Need for Speed. In 2020, we saw a brilliant midfield battle. The gaps between the teams are ever so close and it's hard to predict where the teams will finish. Last year was incredible and I'm sure this year it will be a step further. I'm talking about the McLaren boys, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. This will be Lando's 3rd season with McLaren. He looks well settled in with the team and has a decent McLaren to drive around the Bahrain International Circuit. According to me, Lando will definitely be in points and will be a Power Ranger in our tier list. Daniel Ricciardo is the darling of Formula 1. He always brings up a pleasant atmosphere around him and wins everyone's hearts with his big smile. The Aussie is in a strong position to consistently score points and podiums this season. Barring any technical issues, he should be comfortably in the points. Boy, I miss those Ferrari-McLaren battles at the front of the field. I hope both the teams will be back on top, fighting for world championships soon. The next team we are going to look at is Aston Martin, Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. What are we going to see from Lance this year? In a way, there will be less pressure on him this season because everyone's focus will be on Sebastian Vettel. Testing went okay for Lance. Honestly, if no retirements, it's hard to see Lance in the points. It will be close though, but for our predictions, let's place him in Almost Famous. A brand new team for Vettel after a disappointing departure from Ferrari. He seemed very upbeat about the whole Aston Martin project. Sebastian had a frustrating time at testing with the least number of laps among all drivers. But can he bounce back come race day? It will be really interesting to see Sebastian get his mojo back and give us the old Vettel we all know. The midfield battle is going to be fascinating to follow, especially with some great drivers like Vettel, Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo. I'm going for points for Sebastian Vettel and place him in Power Rangers. Wow, doing these predictions is really great. I'm absolutely enjoying this. Let's move on to our next team, Alpine, Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso. Ocon looks much more confident this year. With someone like Alonso in the next door, he might have a tough time, but this will be an exciting teammate battle to watch out for. For the season opener, Esteban will be almost famous. Welcome back to Fernando Alonso. We are in for some crazy radio time. Absolutely looking forward to enjoy the conversations between Alonso and his engineer. During testing, he surprised many on how quickly he managed to get up to speed, even after a 2-year gap. But can he be race fit? And we also need to see the true pace of the Renault car. So Fernando will be almost famous. These are the Ferrari fans after the 2019 Belgian and Italian Grand Prix. And these are the Ferrari fans after the 2020 Belgian and Italian Grand Prix. Boy, what a difference a sensor can make. So the Ferrari lineup has the smooth operator, but is the car good enough? Certainly better than 2020 and what seems like a much better power unit. Although we have seen pace from Ferrari, the true performance is not visible yet, and I doubt there will be race wins or too many podiums for Ferrari this year. But they can be consistently in the points. So my bet will be on Carlos Sainz to score points in Bahrain and be a Power Ranger in our tier list. Honestly, it's a miracle how Leclerc pulled that tractor to podiums and decent point scoring finishes in 2020. If Ferrari improved even by a 10th, I'm sure he's gonna bring some more podiums this season. I wonder when can Ferrari be back with outright pace to win races. But it may not be this year. As far as Bahrain goes, Charles Leclerc will definitely be in points. Awesome guys, let's move on to the next team, Red Bull Racing, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. Perez must have been thanking Racing Point for breaking his contract, because now he's in one of the top 2 teams on the grid. Anyway, he fully deserves to be in a top team which can challenge for race victories. Checo looked much more comfortable in a Red Bull, more than Gasly and Albon ever did. Obviously, he's much more than a support driver for Verstappen, and he will push Max to his limit. It will be exciting to see how the dynamics will shape up during the course of the season. If no troubles during the race, I expect him to be on the podium and therefore be our first Avenger. We really deserve the on-track battles between top drivers, and Formula 1 so desperately needs them. It's been a while since we had a proper championship battle. Remember 2019 Brazil? Max overtook Lewis at least 3 or 4 times. We need more of those battles this year. Not since 2016, we witnessed a close championship fight. 2021 seems the year where the cars are much more closer. So it's going to be an awesome experience to watch a championship fight between Max and Lewis. As far as the race goes, Max will be the Avenger. So finally, let's look at Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. So is Valtteri going to be 4.0 this year? I respect him a lot. He's a perfect gentleman and a nice guy. And people often say, nice guys don't win championships. It may be true, but Valtteri wants to do it his own way. In 2020, he has shown great pace in some of the qualifying sessions. But on a Sunday, he needs to improve and be much more consistent to maximize his chances of being in a championship contention. For the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, my prediction is Valtteri will be on the points but may not be on a podium, which means the final spot on the Avengers level will be taken by Lewis Hamilton. Do not get tricked into thinking Mercedes are struggling. I am sure Toto might have had some serious conversations with the team after the 3-day test run in Bahrain. Hamilton and the team are relentless and spend sleepless nights to resolve issues. So I am sure they are going to be in the top 3, both in qualifying and the race. I hope you enjoyed these ridiculous predictions. Come race day, the reality could be entirely different. Thanks for watching and stay tuned as lots more exciting content is coming up your way. Keep rocking and I will see you in the next one.